Alright, hello and welcome to On Air with Odin Gamemastering Pathfinder Dragonfall. We are here this week a bit later than usual, but at least we have almost everybody here. Tyler's not with us right now, but let's just carry on regardless, and perhaps she will join us at some point. Last week, we finished watching the rest of the house burn down. We then went to the church and spoke to the other member who staged this entire coup to split Jack in order for their own regime for Nimbleheim. And turns out that their plan, at least from what they told us, was kind of well-intentioned, kind of just trying to gain their own power, and managed to make... We agreed to search the basement of the house in order to find the plans for the house originally, so that the house may be rebuilt from these plans in order to not owe the vampire a shitload of money. In doing so, we found a safe room that survived the blaze and the collapse of the house on top of it. Within that, we found a vault that Tuffy rather expertly clicked open.
Hooray!
And basically Tuffy spent the whole time last session going, "Are you seriously listening to what this guy has to say? I want to kill him. He made me shoot my own dog."
Yeah.
And then when we came back to search this basement, which was kind of doing a favor for this guy, Tuffy was like, "Nah, I'll be by the gate. You call me when I'm done." I'm going to spend some time with my dog. I'm not helping this guy.
Yeah, that sounds appropriate. Good job.
But when Tom wanted her to pick a lock, she was like, "It's picking a lock. There might be stuff inside." Okay. And then went right
Also
back to waiting
appropriate.
outside. Inside said vault, you found an extremely evil book that was actually being hidden by the wards that were placed on the vault. You also found the remains of a dragon, albeit like a large rather than a gigantuous dragon. You also found a very nice suit of armor, which then came to life and started speaking to you, and realized that it is an echo of an extremely powerful being that was so powerful that not only did he fight the dragon and survive, but was also, in order to do this, able to tame a dragon that's not even from this plane of existence. And after a brief chat with him, and the fact that this guy also dusted the vampire that wanted us to try and search this place for the plans in the first place, we found out that this creature, was in fact Mayovic, who the vampire was claiming to be.
Mm-hmm.
He said that if the dragon is going to be returning, and he's more than willing to return to this plane of existence, essentially, to ride against it again, because the many years since the last calamity got a bit boring for him, so he kind of checked out and went to live in the book. But he says that he needs help to do it, because despite all the resources available to him within the book, he needs Jack to actually bring him fully back into this realm. We also, bringing this to the other conspirator, we convinced her that we indeed can conclude this possibly in quite a less than her just getting murder, death, killed when Jack comes back way, if she agrees to release Samael, who is the good side of Jack, who was kept in the orb sphere of annihilation that is kept here at Mayovic House. Unlike the darkness that is kept in the church. In using the Rod of Cancellation on the Sphere of Annihilation, it exploded horrifically, basically annihilating the wall that surrounded the house. But everyone was swept away into this magical white field with flowers, and then also found themselves in front of a cathedral shortly after to meet Samael, who, in order to save the vampire, now that she has regretted her actions and come seeking redemption, has saved her by essentially removing her from this plane of existence and having her just earn redemption within Samael's little, kind of inner pocket dimension inside of himself that he kind of retreats to in order to escape the cruelty of the outside world. He was the emperor of one of the Eastern Kingdoms. But, being a kind and trusting fellow, he was taken advantage of a lot. Betrayed, backstabbed, all sorts of forms of betrayal that left him heavily cursed by many separate events that eventually built into this amalgamation of him basically looking like a Shoggoth. A white Shoggoth with lots of tendrils that have fanged maws and red eyes all over him that completely disfigure his original rather handsome appearance. And now that he is free, he returned you all to the land of the living, basically having already shielded you from the blast, and now says, let's go get the other side of Jack, and that's where we pick up today.
He returned us to the land of the technically living.
Of the existing?
Yeah.
The physical plane, whereas where the vampiress was is nothing but some white feathery, rather dusty white feathers.
Long story
She's in
short,
the realm of the pillow.
long story short, for the vampire who wanted to redo the house, he basically saw the book and went, ooh, shiny, and then we went, whoop, 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 and then he was like, yeah.
Yeah, the party was like, okay, that's moving, it seems very evil, as does the book. We're just gonna close the door and let the vampire deal with this. And then he got dusted.
Yep.
And everybody lived happily ever after. I mean, except for that guy.
He was already
Everybody
a vampire.
important.
And we won't have to pay him for a house. Now we can build a igloo made of stone.
Yes, unless basically the power that is within that vault wishes to have the vault hidden away from everybody else unless he is needed to ride against the dragon once more. And that is the only reason he wants to be disturbed.
Let's go disturb him.
Let's not say we did.
So right now,
Let's get internet in his room and expose him to 4chan.
Oh dear God.
He'll be
Thankfully-
really
I
disturbed.
just wanted to be mildly annoying, not evil.
thankfully the wards inside of his vault block any kind of Wi-Fi.
Aw.
And the
We
materials
can't-
that the vault is made doesn't allow any physical cabling to be installed into it.
He
So we
tried
can't
Tumblr, he gave
disturb
up.
him.
Look,
He went on Tumblr.
the door opened for about an hour or so, and his phone got so many updates from a lot of shit he doesn't care about that he just said, close the door, dude. I don't want any updates.
Puppy now.
Puppy, yes.
Downloading update 1 of 5,300,000. Yeah, screw that.
Oh god damn. Okay, no to all. Jesus. And so now, with the embers calming of the house and this gargantuan beast that you know as Samael is now basically walking just ahead of you, towards the church where the other half of Jack was kept. He looks around, and even in Nimbleheim, where the monsters live, all the evil creatures that are trying to get by without having to bother anybody else and risk getting people after them, even these people are looking at him and kind of being like, I gotta get away. I can't be near this person. This person is just horrific to the point that even I, a creature of darkness, I'm pretty scared of just looking at him.
To be fair, it's a very white monster.
He is a very white monster, but that doesn't make him trust the gnashing tendrils and maws that are upon him. Though thankfully none of them are long enough to basically reach out and start grabbing people. They are just rather short and can only sort of bite people who are within like a foot or so of him, or physically touching him, as Saphira was doing. And due to the nature of her construction, the tendrils are kind of confused about her, so they're not really biting at her, they're just kind of
Nibbling.
taking samples, trying to figure out what the hell's going on with her.
But then Samuel was like, no.
Oh, and
I
also,
was like, "Aw."
Samael gifted Tom with a pipe.
Wait, what?
With a what?
With a pipe. Smoking pipe.
Oh. Right. I remember now.
At least he gave it to you while in the cathedral. It's not like one of the teeth was like with the pipe.
And the pipe is meant to really help with any situations where nobody can really figure out what to do. It's like a pipe of clear thought, as it were.
Deus ex pipina.
It
Or
can-
weed.
He didn't really explain what it does. He just said it'll give you clear thought. You know, it'll enlighten you.
It's full of weed.
It's totally full of
yeah.
weed. Magical, ancient weed from
And
another
she's
dimension.
ancient.
Another dimension.
The
another
best that
dimension.
Hobbiton grows.
Okay, so like in the monstrous form is like moving on all fours, or maybe 6 or 8. You can't quite see because of this cloak of just eyes and hideousness. And there's even like a new head of this monstrous form that has grown out of the back of his neck, pretty much, of his original form. To where there's the point that his like original form is like somewhere in the middle of this mass, and you'd have to be moving in the same way, and you'd have like the right angle just to get a glimpse of his face, like his original face. Alright, any questions? I think that was a decent
So our
catch-up.
current objective is a book, using a book. Sorry, I'm kind of a little fuzzy on what we're trying to do at this moment.
No, the book was so evil that Genevieve was like, I don't even want to touch it because I think it'll kill me. So
Okay.
we left that in the vault with the powerful deity. Oh yeah, and also the creature in there said we should awaken Samuel first because it's the good side of Jack, probably a lot more understanding and talking to, like, he'll let you like talk to you a bit more, and just generally a much more diplomatic kind of figure rather than the other side of Jack, who doesn't like his name being thrown around. So you just have Samuel's name.
The only thing Samuel has is a really bad skin problem. It's cool.
And I believe Samael is leading you guys back to the church where the other Sphere of Annihilation was.
Yeah.
Okay. So back to the Queen's Chapel. By this time, pretty much everyone else has cleared out, since the sermon was concluded rather abruptly. Except for this happy fellow, who seems to be the resident carer of this church when some powerful figures aren't in doing a guest sermon. He's currently just looking into the sphere of annihilation here. And he seems to be just talking to himself.
Oh, that's not good.
Oh, and you're a happy little pile of dust and feathers, so you're gone. So, as you approach the church, despite the size of the door, Samael, and the size of Samael, he seems to, push his head into the opening of the door, and the rest of his body kind of shifts and morphs to let him fit through. And it's as if there's a very fluid, very thick liquid that's just being forced down a drain as he squeezes himself into it. Pretty much, yeah. Pretty much like an old one. Or something of that like.
As long as his original form fits.
Very eldritch looking creature right now. Only he's white. With lovely, slightly pink red eyes.
He's a driver.
Thousands of them.
He's the driver.
And upon
You cannot convince me.
Upon entering the church, I'm not trying to convince you otherwise. What are you kidding?
Yeah.
Upon entering the church, the sphere of annihilation seems to react to his presence, and the slight tendril of darkness that is coming out, that was indicating where the other sphere of annihilation was in correspondence to this one, starts to pull out a bit more and thicken. And of course, seeing that, the preacher steps back a bit and he looks around to Samael, and he's rightfully stunned at what he sees. What manner of beast do you bring into this church?
This manner. She points.
It's alright. He's a friend. Happy no.
Well, if you excuse me. And he steps down here and he quickly kind of sidesteps to one of the side rooms. And he's just like, nope. I'm going to my office.
He's seen a gigantic nope.
Yes, he just noped out of there.
Can I get solo XP if I kill the gigantic nope?
Yes.
You're escorting the gigantic nope.
You can, though. I mean, if you really wanted to suddenly just turn on Samael and attack him.
No.
I wouldn't recommend it, though.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Plus,
She's too good.
He's a big, horrific beast, and, you know, knowing Tuffy, she probably finds him kind of cute.
Yeah, she probably just wants to pet him or something.
Yep.
Unfortunately, when Tuffy tries, despite her rather innocent and playful manner and loving animals out of the world, some of the tendrils still will try and attack her. As Sam has explained, he can't really control them, they just make their own judgments.
Tuffy, no.
I want a pet.
They're really touchy.
Just scritching behind the ear mouths.
minutes.
Okay, so we need to get the other half of him or something now?
Yes.
Okay, where do we do that?
Tom's leading the way, I guess. Whee!
Before you do anything, remember what happened to the vampires.
I don't think that's going to be an issue here.
Okay.
I wish there was another place we could take this sphere before destroying it, but I believe moving it may be too great a risk. It says about 20 to 30 different voices at once speaking for Samael.
Okay.
Oh,
Tom
man.
is up near the sphere.
Are we gonna have to pay for a church now?
I hope not.
Oh boy.
Do you wish,
Should we be that close?
That would
do
be
you
fine.
wish to risk the blast yourself, or should I perhaps take the brunt of it rather than yourself? I'm sure I should be able to contain most of the blast, at least. Or at least I can try.
Tom pulls the rod off his back and then offers it to Samael.
This extremely bony extremity, which you might call a hand, stretches out from what seems to be like halfway down his back on the right hand side of this cloak that seems to be covering whatever's beneath, and he takes it from you.
With that, Tom gets the hell out of here.
You know what I picture actually like the movement of his cloak and the extremities? Do you remember the opening of, I think it was the first Demon's Souls?
Never played it.
Ah, damn. There was a particular...
Wasn't like a big old pile of fluff with just two skeleton hands.
Yeah, I think it was the opening of this, and it was there was like the one who spread like plague and all that, and he was just like skulls and skulls and skulls and fluff and skulls and skulls and fluff and bones. But instead of that, it was like more eyes and all that. But it has like this particular movement to it. But whatever, you can use your imaginations. Cause damn right you have those, or you wouldn't be here. Okay, so.
Just in case the blast is too big, Genevieve's just gonna pull out her shield and just kind of hold it in front of her.
With that, what seems to be a few tendrils and other forms of limbs reach out to start grabbing basically like here and here, and what seems to be stretching out his like cloak of eyes and teeth to basically form a wall. And it would take many knowledge rolls to try and identify what manner of creature each of those limbs would belong to. None of the two of them seem to actually be the same.
I don't have anything for monsters. I just have your Arcany.
Oh, Arcane would work, so would Blaine's.
Okay.
So would pretty much
Roll.
any other check you can roll for a monster.
Fuck, never mind. That would be a 20.
That would be it. Oh yeah, because the plus.
Plus 9. I
plus
forgot my plus 9.
Okay.
I did.
So at 20, you can identify some of them. Like you're seeing some, what seems to be like the remains of what would be an Arcana color, like monstrous beast? So you're seeing like some like like a harpy wing with its claw in the end of it, and you're seeing all manners of claws from various beasts. One of them is quite clearly a dragon claw. One of them seems to actually be like a giant worm that is literally just kind of biting in to the stone to hold on. But there's just way too many of them for you to just like process all of them.
Well, at least 1/3 are from Horror World. I think. And Tuffy, no, you cannot pet them.
And once that is in place, you hear a very distinct clunk as the rod is pushed against the sphere, followed by the mighty explosion, which, despite some force coming through and being felt on the other end, and like the odd bit of smoke getting around him, none of the actual flame from the blast and a hell of a lot of the concussive force is blocked by him. But you still feel like the just not the full force of it, just like the shockwave that would come after the main blast.
Yep.
And you hear like glass shattering, wood breaking, stone being smashed apart. And you then sort of notice that pretty much this entire part of the church just got blown out.
Well, okay then.
And suddenly it's the darkest you've ever seen it, even in Nimbleheim. As if the light of the red moon doesn't even reach you.
Is it so dark that even my light doesn't do shit?
Even those with dark vision find themselves finding it extremely dark right now.
But I'm a torch.
Oh wait, hang on. Someone walked into Kel's room again. Really? Always when we start.
Well, I mean, I'm a torch, so it's not really dark vision.
Oh yeah, like your torch is not going, it's not going anywhere. In terms of like projecting light, it's like
Like I can still see myself, but everything's black.
pretty much like it's as if the light it's emitting is being suffocated and like confined to its actual source.
Yep. I'm not used to this.
So when's the Batman theme start? Oh, you even got the right theme.
Eh?
Batman animated.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
Ba, 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 ba.
I love the fucking Power Glove cover of that. It was already pretty metal and then they made it even more metal. Oh, just for reference, by the way, this is Samael, in his true form, as the others saw it last week. And so I guess I should also represent, like, where he is right now. So he is still... In fact, in this form, he's more, like, this kind of size of creature. What is that? What am I thinking? Ginormous? That's 8, isn't it? I believe. Was it 4x4? What is 4x4?
Let's see, he's medium, large,
huge,
giant. He's giant sized.
Yeah. Because like even in his like regular form, he was already a large creature.
Yeah, so this would be giant size. I think the next one up is huge, then colossal.
Yeah. But I'm just using him to
This-
represent where his location right now.
Yeah. Basically, that's his core form,
Yeah, that's
which
his
we
core
can
form.
only see in his sanctuary.
Yeah.
And right now he has a really bitey, antisocial cloak of whatever.
And like any good World of Warcraft character,
He is what?
he's important.
Oh yeah, he's important. And
Important
Oh,
people in World of Warcraft are huge.
as
He's
quickly as
huge.
it
Did you
came,
mention that?
you hear what sounds like a struggle, but after a brief moment, your light returns to your vision. Normal light is restored as the darkness is condensed down to this figure who you see once Samael sort of retreats his protection and kind of retreats down to his more manageable size. Which is still huge, because he went even bigger when he was like outstretching, but he kind of moves to one side and you can see this figure who seems to be just like the same kind of size as you guys. He is a very darkly dressed man with long, really unkempt, wild black hair. And there is this aura about him that says that there is a lot of darkness coming from him. As to be expected
okay,
when you heard
Genevieve.
about the other side.
Genevieve's gonna need a new stress ball.
Oh, right. Wait.
Just look at Saphira and say, how many of those have I gone through now?
I forgot.
So have I. Squish, 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 pop.
I'm gonna summon 3 now.
Does anyone here think they could give me a decent challenge in combat?
Let me think a second.
The hesitation would
bored.
say no.
I was just bored.
So, I doubt an infant would want to try and do combat with me. Is anyone in this plane actually want to fight me? Alright. Samael, I suppose.
There is one that will want to fight you.
Have fun.
Oh.
Yeah,
Sama-
Tuffy just kind of backs away a little bit.
When you say that, Samael just looks around to you, and even his horrific, monstrous form has this look on his face that says, "Dude, this is not a good idea."
He's still waking up.
Oh. Well, who might that be?
You fought him before.
Did I? Or did we? What
The
is...
great dragon is awakening again.
Uh,
So if you need something to fight, that would be your target.
But I was told last time that now that people live upon this dragon, we can't exactly be as forceful as we were last time. So to fight the dragon, to destroy him, would destroy that entire group of people that left us all behind. So you want me to fight the dragon?
If it comes to it. The great wizard that sent us on this quest would rather it be subdued again.
And I'm sure Samael would probably support this in favor of destroying it entirely. And as much as it might be kind of funny, I think fighting a sleeping opponent would still not be a fair fight. Together again, is it Samael? Seemed like it. I mean, I suppose that, I mean, someone's got to try and keep an eye on you. And it's not like we were exactly having a bad time being Jack, were we? I suppose not. It has been rather amusing after these years to hear your side of things whenever time we contemplate a situation, and fighting aspects of myself in order to try and pass the time has also been fun. And anyone who is deemed unforgivable enough to be sent to me have also been fun, though in the end unsatisfying. But what would I do if I didn't return to Jack? I would wander around destroying anyone who wanted to fight me, and then probably get bored again and keep wandering around some more, impaling people left and right, just making examples of anyone who thought they were a good fighter. God, it really does get dull. So rather than go through that again, I think we should just reunite. Well, I suppose you'll have to meet us back at Jack's office. We have to retreat to somewhere that unfortunately you can't follow. But as you just wait at Jack's office, and he'll be along with you shortly.
Okay. See you then. Okay.
And with that, the two figures seem to require walking a lot less and end up ascending to the blood moon itself, as far as you can see. And you are left standing in a partially destroyed church. And you see the pastor is just sitting there. And you know what, he's gonna roll a will save.
What are all these bricks on the floor?
Okay. So upon seeing what he saw and not being as seasoned adventurer as you, he just starts kind of babbling in what may be rage at the damage of the church, it might just be confusion, and he passes out.
Tom's just gonna turn around and stride out of what's left of the church.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Is there any soft-looking surfaces left?
I guess there is. No, there's the bench. I mean, there is his, like, kind of nice chairs back here.
I'm gonna bring him to share.
Because, you know, if you're going to spend money on anything, it's going to be whatever is in the vicar's office.
So golf clubs.
No, you see a rather nice writing desk, 2 comfortable chairs and a table. It's still pretty modest.
I can carry him easily if he's just around 200 pounds.
Eh.
And no, at least he's gonna be hangry but comfortable. Okay.
Hangry.
He's gonna be hungry and angry.
they're sure
you know?
So he's going to be
Angry.
hungry and angry.
Yeah, so hangry.
Angry. A-A-N.
Yeah, I know.
I like the way you said it better.
Aw.
Hangry. That's the best way to be angry.
To
Then
rage
people
so
give you
hard
food.
you get yourself a big appetite.
Yeah, because then people hand you food.
It's like, you know, your stomach starts growling as loud as your frothing rage from your mouth. It's like, dude, chill out and have a Snickers. Right, I'm putting Sage Heart at the back of the group right now, just while we... regather.
I love that bit. So, who wants to fight me? I have someone you can fight. Everyone else, the fuck?
Pretty much. It's like, Tom, what are you doing? Tom, stop.
And it's once you get
Like,
outside
no,
the church, returning back to the main map of Nimbleheim. The blood moon, right above the city, goes into an eclipse. And everyone in the city is kind of just standing out in the street, like looking up at this, because it's quite clear from everyone's reaction. This hasn't happened before, to their knowledge. And it is once the moon has fully eclipsed that there is still basically a circle of blinding white light comes from around it, but the eclipse shields the city in such a way that none of it actually like strikes down upon the citizens. It is just like cast out in all directions around the city.
Neat.
And it is upon this light kind of pulling back in that the clouds that had sort of like started to like separate a little bit get pulled back and condensed to be a much more solid blanket. And that's when the moon returns to its blood-colored state. And everything appears to be normal again. At least for this city.
Aw, normal. Normal's not fun. What do we do with normal?
This is normal for Halloween Town.
Yeah, but that's where Tuffy wants to live. There's like nightmares and stuff.
What?
Okay, so what next?
What does the party want to do?
Well, Tom looks back at the others. We were told to meet Jack back at his office. I suppose that's where we should go.
I want to see if he's happy as Jack. What?
Nobody say anything? It's cool.
I think the dog look at me funny.
I'm not so sure that's a dog.
Well, Tuffy's friend.
Oh, Bruiser.
Bruiser's a doggy.
Bruiser's a dog, yes. That one over there I'm not so sure about.
Roll a perception check.
Me?
Well, whoever wants to try and see what Tom's seeing.
Let's see. Well,
This is assuming that I am hearing this.
Well, yeah,
you should be. You're in the group.
Yeah, you're in the group. Everyone's close by.
Funny enough, my dog is sitting here smiling at me.
I think I see all the things.
Yeah. Genevieve, Tuffy, you see what Tom thought was a dog. Though beyond just the glowing eyes and the darkness that Tom and Saphira saw, you actually see what seems to be a very long snouted bunny rabbit looking creature that has the body of what appears to be like a ram's body, but it's, you know, the size of your dog. It's a large creature, and it has extremely long floppy ears with a pelt of pure black of this goat body, but he also has like a snake tail, and he's just looking at you, munching on what appears to be some form of flower.
Huh.
Tuffy's gonna call out to it in Infernal, because she thinks that would probably be the closest. And she's just gonna wave and say, "Hi, are you having a good night?"
All you hear in return is
Can I
guess
identify the language? Is it a language at all?
no, it just seems to be like a regular nonsense animal sound. Because, you know, just
Doesn't Tuffy speak animal?
yeah, but this is like, you know, even in human tongue, everyone like speaks common, but people can still be like a blah, blah, blah. Or just make random noises, you know. But even those random noises will still kind of be in the originating tongue. Like how a cow says moo.
Well, Tuffy's just gonna be like, "Well, we'll be over here then. You have fun with your eating."
Oh.
Tuffy just kind of shrugs.
He just has this blank stare directly at you.
That
They
doesn't seem
Just
mean.
clip clops off.
At least it wasn't mean. Could have been friendlier though.
If it was friendlier, you'd have it as part of your menagerie.
It hasn't worked on the nightmares yet.
Unfortunately, like, they need to be between this certain threshold of like smart enough to be tamed and dumb enough to actually allow themselves to be tamed.
She's not trying to tame it. She just wants to be friends.
Yeah, but they kind
It
of
still needs an intelligence above -1.
they see, and also the intelligent ones kind of just see that as a ploy a lot of the times, unless you like roll really high. But the nightmares haven't done it. Plus, he doesn't want to leave. He kind of likes what he's got going on here. Okay, so you guys are gonna head to Jack's office, right?
Yep.
Okay, you guys head back to Jack's office, which is this lovely building here attached to what you found out to be the orphanage of sorts. It's like the prequel to Monster High. It's this monster orphanage.
Is it the evil baby orphanage?
Well, it's the monstrous creature orphanage.
So, yes, evil babies.
No, the evil baby orphanage is different. They're not monsters, they're just babies.
Oh, okay, no.
That your sentence made no sense. You said they're not monsters, and then you said they're monsters.
As in, like, little monsters, as in, like, what we would call babies that didn't behave. At least I'm assuming that's what she...
No, I agree. Babies are monstrous. I just meant these are human babies and not monster babies.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't like babies either. I don't get it. Like, as a thing.
Happy no.
Puppy, yes.
Vegeta, yes.
No, do the thing, puppy. You do the thing.
Don't encourage him, people.
That's what I do. Have you met Tuffy? That's all she does.
Alright, heading into Jack's office, you see a guy who seems to be throwing blades at a board. And, he's just kind of sitting there, boots up on the table, just leaned back in
Are
his
we
chair.
playing darts? I want to play darts.
Alright, well, catch and have a throw, and this guy just throws a dagger at you.
Okay.
Who's here?
Well, reflex to catch it, I suppose.
I can do that. I can roll that. Let's see.
Let's see. Do I have the?
Yoink.
No, I only have deflect.
Yoink.
Nice, you catch it.
Okay.
Now make I
And-
guess a ranged attack?
Okay, my range attack bonus is pretty high. Yeah. Okay. So.
So as
Wait.
Hmm?
How? Nah, that wouldn't work. Never mind. Okay. Yoink.
You throw the dagger at the board and manage to get it basically within an inch of where one of the already existing daggers was. Nice, nice. I like that. This man, as you are doing this, observe is like wearing, you know, your pretty hefty, heavy-duty, all-purpose black boots. Most of his attire is actually black. He's sort of wearing, you know, irregular old, like, what like slacks, but it's like made of like really thick material, so it's rather like wearing for adventuring and stuff. Practical gear, basically. He is also wearing a white shirt that is mostly covered by his kind of short, clearly leather black jacket that he's wearing over the top of it, and his hair, as you can see, is like made up of like black and white in, well, by the time you can kind of figure out what sort of ratio it's in, it seems to have changed. And like his eyebrows seem to be the only parts that are like always one of them white, always one of them black. And he kind of claps as you throw it, and he's like, "Oh, nice, very nice. All right, so you're the guys that helped put me back together, right?" And he just kind of just kicks the desk away a bit so he can stand up.
Yes,
Yeah.
my lord.
Oh God, no, I'm gonna stop you right there. I'm just Jack, okay? No lord or anything like that. I mean,
Pleased to meet you, Jack. I like you.
oh, thanks. And what's your name?
Saphira.
Saphira, nice to meet you. And that's the cutest face I've ever seen on a relic.
He. She
Does she go,
crackles a bit instead of blushing.
so does she go glow pink for a moment?
No, she just has testicular still on her face.
Alright, and the paladin. One of the most unlikely sorts I ever thought that would help us. But I'm glad to see it anyway, because, you know, you did good here. You did justice. As I'm sure whichever deity it is that you follow would be pleased with.
Well, I would like to think so, anyway. In the back of
Yeah.
her mind, she's just thinking, I hope so.
Well,
Yeah, out of character, I think Iomide would be really proud of how that all went down.
and you there. The extremely cute and fluffy face on top of some really wicked curves. Who are you?
Hiya.
And what's your name?
I'm Toffee.
Alright, nice to meet you, Tuffy. I see. Oh, and who's that handsome strapping lad down there? And he's kind of like looking down at Bruiser.
That's Bruiser. He says hi too.
That is some really nice armor. You must really care
Bruiser
about him.
just kind of wags his tail.
You must really care about him to like have something custom made like that.
Yeah, he's good. I like him.
Cool. And you, is he masked currently, by the way?
Of course he is.
Okay. And you, my masked and extremely formal friend.
I am Thomas, ninja of the Dragon Clan.
Ah, Dragon Clan. So they are still around. I'm sure Samuel was pleased to hear that if you spoke with him.
Tom makes no comment.
Alright, well, never mind. Okay, so, and you on the end there. And she's like, I'm Sage Hurt. I'm an alchemist. I like blowing stuff up and healing people in equal parts. Or something along those lines.
She's mostly Kyurgen, so...
Yeah, so she's a healer who sometimes blows stuff up.
Yeah.
When need be. Alright, so this is a very, very ragtag group. So, what purpose has united all of you to the point that you would end up here?
Stop the dragon from reawakening. Or failing that, destroy it.
Dragon. So you're talking that there might be another calamity going on. Maybe. I mean, on the right lines here.
Well, maybe it depends on whether or not that the thing wakes up. Like right now, the wizard's got it in check, but it started, you know.
The wizard. The wizard. You mean the little guy who like turned it into a city and took off into the air?
As far as I know.
He like had like just a few pubes on his chin. All right, so he's still kicking. That's interesting. That's it.
And he has made his home right next to the brain of the dragon.
Oh, that's gonna have all sorts of fun happenings. Well, so you're saying that he might be reawakening. So the wizard's trying to, try and regain control a bit more so that he's not gonna go crazy, and perhaps if the dragon gets killed, then the whole thing that he set up's gonna come crashing down. And like, how many people are on that dragon now? It's been generations, like many generations since that happened.
I don't believe we have exact figures, but... Tom hands over a note.
He takes the note.
Because of course the ninjas would keep track of that.
He opens it up and he's like, oh, now that would be upsetting to lose. Okay, so... Well, you've already seen what's happened to a lot of the world once the first calamity happened, and the wizard basically took his chosen kind and took off to the sky. And so the wizard needs access to the resources he did back when he first established the control so that he can try and renew it, right? Is that what he's trying to do?
Specifically some of his spell books.
Alright, so you're probably looking for his archive.
Yep, big library.
Oh, the big line, yeah. Well, unfortunately, as far as I remember, when the calamity happened, that tower came crashing down. So did most of the buildings. The only thing that might still be there is some of the underground archives that he had there. But even that's going to be difficult to find, because not only first you have to find the ruins of the archive, but then to dig them up, and then try and find the entrance to the underground archives and hope that hasn't all collapsed in. And then, hope that it hasn't been so long that the scrolls have decayed, because who knows what current state the magical protection of that place is in. Well, I mean, I know where it is. You gotta head to the north. You gotta head, like, straight north until you reach the coast and acquire a ship and keep heading north. And, well, eventually you won't be able to keep going north, and you should arrive at roughly the continent that should be able to help you out. But, I spent most of my time in here since, you know, establishing the place. But, you know, I've been keeping my ears and eyes open. Yes, if you head to what is now known as Port Tinker, you'll find a lovely little group of people who are running that place. It's not your most upstanding port, but it's one of the biggest currently in the realm. And it's pretty much the nearest hope for you to be able to travel any further north, because there's not exactly a way for any ports currently on this particular continent that will allow you to go north. So, once you get a ship and head north, and you arrive at your destination, you should, hopefully, if there's anything left, which you should arrive at a town that will be able to tell you where the Wizard's Tower was. I mean, some people might not want to give up their information, but a more up-to-date local guide will probably be better than the information I can tell you. Because you pretty much have to hopefully reach the city I'm thinking of, and then travel north again for about 2 weeks, and then northeast for roughly a month before you can reach the Wizard's Tower.
At least we are still steps ahead of our adversaries.
Oh, well, you would hope so, because, you know, if the dragon was to fully awaken while you were doing this, it'd be a bit of a, you know, rocky situation.
As far as we understand, his minions have not been able to uncover the information that we have. And we purposely left them in the dark.
His minions? You mean the dragon actually has some established forces down on the ground level now?
The wizard has been dropping members of the city for quite some time. Those that seem to start to succumb to the dragon's will.
Well, I guess the further away from the dragon they are, the less powerful and influence the dragon can have. But I can imagine those people have some serious, weird dreams whenever the dragon comes around over the top of wherever they're living currently.
With the incursions we had inside the dragon just prior to our own expulsion, his range may have already extended.
Well, I'm sure for like the first few hundred years everything was perfectly fine, but then people like living kind of close to where the dragon's remaining consciousness is kept would start feeling a little strange, and then I'm sure after this much time, he's pretty much over the entire city got there. I mean, like, where's, like, has there been, like, cultist outbreaks in the city?
And bombings.
And, well, bombings, okay.
And they always seem to originate from the mage's quarter. Isn't that right, Genevieve?
Indeed.
So you're saying that he's able to influence those who have magical, either innate abilities or curiosities, or is it only like those who are like born with magic?
Those who have magical abilities or talents, and those whose lives are closest to the dragon's head, which of course is where the mage quarter is located.
Yeah, I'm just wondering how much the wizard himself has been able to resist this influence. I mean,
Why
if
do
he
you
gained
think
the
I'm
control in the way he thinks I thought he did, then yes and no. Because if he's doing it one way, the dragon would only, like, damage himself by trying to influence the wizard. But if he's doing it a different way, then that could be so. He kind of gets quiet. Sorry, I may have been part of the battle, but when the wizard wanted to kind of step up and bind the dragon rather than let us finish it off and build a civilization, we sort of said, alright, our job's here is done. Just try not to screw it up, and came back home. Thankfully, the dragon's flame only scorched most of the city, not all of it. And we managed to rebuild, as you have seen. I mean, I'm not sure if you can tell that some of the buildings are slightly newer than others, but with how much time has passed since then maybe you don't. I don't know. But hey, enough of this old serious talk. Who's up for a few drinks?
I like drinks.
He heads over to this globe and kind of flicks it open. Starts grabbing bottles. Alright, so what's your poison?
I don't know. I never tried alcohol. I don't even know if I can drink alcohol.
I'm not exactly sure what it will do for your inner workings.
I think I'm just gonna get a bucket of water.
Alright.
Sorry.
No, that's perfectly alright. I mean, if you don't drink anything but water, then, you know, then you don't.
I'm just imagining her getting something that's like super potent that has like fumes coming off of it, and then the gem on her head just ignites it all.
It's called a flaming Saphira. It's a brand new drink.
So, like, burns away all the alcohol, it just ends up sticky. Alright, so what was that for? Tom?
So Tom's kunai is now wiggling in the dartboard next to the knife that got thrown.
Oh, nice. Jack kind of looks around and he's like, yeah, sorry, I was just amusing myself while you guys were on your way, because kind of got that bit of a buzz going after becoming myself again. But still, as I was saying, drinks. So, no story, by the way. I'm just, alright. You know what? Screw it. And he's going to, take a tray and put out 6 glasses, and he pours 6 different bottles, 1 into each glass, and he closes the lid of the globe and then spins it. Alright, who wants to stop it first?
Me, I'll do it.
Alright.
Poke.
You poke the globe and it stops. And he looks at where it stops and he goes, ah, that used to be a very lovely place. That is in fact where one of the jungles was before the calamity. I mean, I know there's been new ones springing up since then, but that there is where a lot of the forces of it's where a lot of the orc hordes actually came to fight the dragon. That's where they used to live before the whole calamity deal. That's why they were so eager to try and kill the dragon, because of course when you burn down an orc horde's home, the orc horde's going to be pissed at you. But anyway, what did you get? And you open up and there's this bright green drink that's closest to you on the tray.
Okay, I'm gonna sniff it.
Alright, roll perception.
I will roll perception.
On your
Yes,
sniffing.
I would do that. It is. I am rolling perception or trying to. Perception!
Oh,
Not so great, but
your nose is so insulted by what it smells that it instantly stops trying to identify what it smells. It just starts sounds like, nope.
she's gonna take a drink of it anyway, just to be polite,
Okay.
even though she doesn't look terribly happy about it.
Because you look at it more closely, like as you bring it closer to your nose, you also kind of bring it closer to your eyes, and you see that it's like a clear liquid, but there's this cloud of green inside it that's giving it the green glow.
Oh, they juiced Spock.
All hail the glow cloud.
This is what... I mean, roll a fortitude save now, by the way.
Yeah, I was afraid of that.
The clouded blast. That's it's got quite a kick, that one.
Yeah, my fort is not very good, so I'm hoping I roll high.
2.
Yeah.
Ooh.
No, 19.
19. You take a sip. And that's when you realize that if you didn't take that polite sip and actually took up like a mouthful, then you probably wouldn't be standing right now. As your vision kind of instantly starts to cloud, much like the drink. And then it starts showing you rather nice, pleasant images. You think you see like some flowers. There's like seems to be a couple of pixies over there dancing around.
Hope you packed your bags, Tuffy, because it looks like you're going for a trip.
And the next thing you know, you find yourself sitting in a chair. You're not sure how you got
Yay,
there.
a chair!
And you could have sworn that one of these fairies actually like pushed the chair up for you behind you.
Oh no.
She just looks over at him and goes, "You have some very polite fairy friends."
Jack just kind of chuckles and looks at the others, knowing that they probably don't see the same thing as she, but he's just going to move on. He closes it again and he kind of spins it. Right, who's next?
Is she gonna be okay?
Oh yeah, she'll be fine.
Safi was gonna pout because she would like to try stuff, but burning crystal plus alcohol, she already burnt the house down today.
Alright, just give Tom a side glance and I'm gonna try it myself. If that's okay.
Yep.
No one's gonna stop her.
Touch it! Touch it, touch it, touch it, touch it. Touch it.
Okay. Let's see. Blah, 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 blah. Nah. Believe it or not, how coincidental this is. that particular place there is where the Shining Crusade against the forces of the Whispering Tyrant happened. And that should be familiar to you, I believe.
Out of character, I don't really know.
Yeah. That's one of the stories of Iomide.
Ah, okay.
Back when she herself was a paladin.
Okay, yeah. Guess I need to do a little bit of back reading.
Mm-hmm.
That's okay. I'm sure Genevieve.
It helps so much.
Like, I read a bit about Iomide, but I didn't, like... Anyway. So, yeah, Genevieve is just like, yeah.
What you, he opens it up, and the glass closest to you is a very rich brown color. And it's translucent, but not entirely, like, see-through. It's not, like, crystal clear.
She just kind of side glances it, takes it in her hands. Gonna roll a perception on this. Oh, of course.
You take a smell of it, and you get very warm, very nice smells, but you can't quite place it.
I'm gonna go ahead and drink it.
Are you chugging or are you sipping?
Sipping.
Sipping. Okay, you sip, and this warmth just runs over your tongue and prickles the entirety of your throat on the way down, and then just gives you this slight fire in your belly afterwards. Roll a fortitude save.
Fortitude save.
Alright, you just
one of the
fine.
paladin's specialties.
You feel like this drink gives you kind of a nice, warm, comforting kind of like hug inside of you.
Daw.
The noble
It's a
Templar,
party in your
very
mouth and
fitting.
everyone's invited.
I didn't agree to that, but...
Alright, so you enjoy that, just have a seat, relax. I mean, we're all friends here, so it's not like, do you have to rush off particularly soon? Because I think your friend there might need a night to recover.
Just kind of look over at Tuffy and make sure she's okay.
The fairies are currently weaving her a nice knitted scarf.
Yeah, you raise a good point, and Genevieve just kind of sits down.
It seems to be made of sparkles and magic, and you could swear that it just feels like kittens when it's draped around you, like lots of kittens just piled upon you.
So she's gonna start going into, like, fits of her going squee all the time.
No, we're just going to be hearing loud purring for the rest of the night.
And you're not aware of it, Tuffy, but
Yeah.
unconsciously you're taking more sips every so often.
Oh, lovely.
Oh, God.
Alright, is anyone else fancy one? I need
Tom will step up at this point.
spins it.
And touch.
Boom. Eastern Kingdoms. I think if you have spoken to Samael and mentioned your clan, that he's probably already told you all about that.
Yeah, plus there's the clan history, so he knows.
Alright. Well, let's see what you got. And he opens it up. Ah, Lavish Phantom. Enjoy. You see a very deep, almost black, rich purple color. And it's like there's, as if there's like the occasional shimmer, much like, you know, a blade in the dark, that seems to fleck through every so often.
Let me check. Actually, I think this qualifies as a knowledge local check.
Yeah, it would do.
I have knowledge local, but unfortunately I'm drunk.
You don't have knowledge local for specifically what this is. This is Clan Dragon specific knowledge local, and he fails.
You fail.
Can't quite remember it, but he takes a sip anyways.
You take a sip and roll a fortitude save.
Of course. +4. Lovely.
Roll to see if I'm getting drunk. If there are any girls there, Tom wants to do them.
You feel,
Playing magic missile at the darkness.
Tom.
I
Tom
have
feels
a Mountain Dew?
perfectly fine. There's like no effect from the drink as far as you can tell. Alright.
Tom takes a seat and is probably holding the cup with both hands.
Mhm.
And yeah, he's just going to enjoy.
Alright, so he closes it again, he spins it. Ophelia comes up and taps on it, and when she, like, her finger lands on the globe, it's kind of... Jack and Ophelia kind of look at each other and they kind of grin, and they open it up and she takes a drink. Hers is like a bright golden color, and it's just completely see-through. And there's quite clearly, like, flecks of gold in there. What seem to be gold, at least.
Goldschlager, got it.
And, okay. Well, I don't even think we should really risk it with your inner workings there. But you know what? Here. And he goes and he opens it up and he's gonna go, I got you some water in an extremely fancy glass.
Nice.
Aww.
I'm just gonna pour it in my grill.
It's the good stuff. It's like distilled.
Nice. Steam come out. Ah, that's good stuff. Thank you.
Like, Sage Heart takes her, stops, and actually it's like the, you know, the homeland of her race. Or at least what was the original homeland of the rather nomadic people, I believe, which clan you are. And, rather appropriately, hers seems to be like a swirling mist in a glass. Like, as in, it is like, there's like wisps coming out of it. Kind of like some of those spirits that kind of have that, like, dry ice kind of effect to them.
Ah.
But it's like the whole drink is that. You can't even tell if there's any liquid in there. And I was like, okay, so what you gotta do? Just pinch your nose, seal the cup over your mouth and inhale. That's all you gotta do for that one. And she's like, alright. She just inhales this quote unquote drink. And her pupils dilate immensely, and she goes to sit down. And that leaves the balanced shrub. Of course it leaves me the balanced shrub. Okay. And he takes his drink and he sips it. He's not like gonna stop being like, yeah, look at me, look, look, look. He just takes it as a drink.
So Tuffy's taking a trip. Genevieve is in a happy place. Sphera is logging
Hey.
onto Steam.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was a great way to put that.
Saphira is feeling very clean right now.
Yes.
Tom is meditating, apparently.
Mm-hmm. And, oh, speaking of which, you remember that drink you took earlier when nothing happened?
Yeah.
Suddenly it hits you. Right in the back of your throat. As this just sudden, very sharp alcohol burn to the back of your throat almost pretty much forces you to cough. And, like, have to, like, very quickly just, like, suck in another breath. And it's like, for that very brief moment, you find yourself unable to draw a breath, but then it passes as quickly as it came. And you feel normal again.
Three, 2, 1, sip.
Make a reflex save.
Make a what?
Make a reflex save.
Okay.
I know, weird, right?
Oops.
2D.
I think I made that.
Rolling 2D.
I'm rolling 2 to
Ouch.
Again, like another 10 minutes passed, then suddenly you're just fucking struck out of nowhere, and you don't even see it coming. By the effects of the alcohol.
Are you having ghost body? Hmm.
But it's like the second after the strike where you can like inhale again. It's like that breath you inhale is just like the most like how to describe it? It's like that this one breath afterwards is like the best thing in the world. It's like it's like an extravagant like meal you were having, or it just, you know, it's like a luxury. Taking that breath was just
Yeah, that
so
sounds
nice.
a lot like a ninja drink. So, you know, every time that happens, 3 seconds later, he takes another sip.
And over time, taking 20 on it, he manages to see it coming. And eventually he's like able to see it coming so much that he can pretty much catch his body before that happens, and then so kind of like prevent the strike, but still take the really nice like after effect of the taste. Genevieve, your drink, as you continue to drink more of it, it continues to basically fill you with this warm contentment that just feels like satisfaction, you know, like you've just done a good job and now you're just relaxing in a nice comfy chair, and the drink is just making that comfy chair even better.
At this point, she would almost just pull out her journal and just start writing in it.
Go for it.
She pulls out her journal and starts writing in it. Just
Tuffy,
things that go on.
Yes.
your new friends are throwing you a tea party.
A tea party! I love tea parties!
And Bruce is there, and all your other animal friends are at the table. Everyone else that you came into the room with seems to be gone. That's kind of weird, but you know, you've got your animal friends here. There's a couple of squirrels that come out of the trees.
Do I get a jaunty hat? I
You-
demand a jaunty hat.
You make your demands at the head of the table, and the fairies quickly see to your demands. And soon enough,
Hooray!
a new hat is
jaunty
placed
hats
upon your
for
head.
everyone!
Oh, for everyone. Well then, all the squirrels, the raven, the fox, the dog, all of them have jaunty hats now.
Sweet!
Whereas everybody else, she's sitting there in the chair, looking spaced out and taking drinks.
And occasionally reaching up to, like, shift her non-existent hat onto her head.
Yeah. And you know, they pour you a cup of tea, and it's just that lovely temperature where you don't have to sip it as much as you can just enjoy it straight away. And you start taking
Ah.
larger gulps of the green drink.
Duffy's on a trip.
And soon enough, she's kind of just taking sips from an empty glass. But she's having a whale at a time. She's making all these new friends. There's like a squirrel and a raccoon who showed up to join the tea party. The
Ooh,
nightmare's
I like
there.
raccoons.
There's
Yay!
this cute little like pearlescent dragon that joined them out of nowhere. Well, I don't know where he came from, but you know,
Aww.
he kind of like flew in through the office windows and just sat down at the other end of the table.
I'm gonna name him Falcor. He's my bestest buddy now.
Oh my god.
Oh, come on. Tell me that somebody doesn't say pearlescent dragon and that's not immediately where your brain goes.
And you know what? Your new pearlescent dragon friend Falcor, he brought you a gift.
A gift!
You know what gift he brought you? Make a will save.
What?
Oh,
Will
no.
save! My will save is even worse than my fortitude save. This will not go well.
Here comes the bad part of the trip.
I'm about to fall into a K-hole, aren't I? Oh my god!
He brought you a fancy new monocle to go with your dapper hat.
Oh my god.
Yay! Tubby's just playing with an invisible monocle now, like breathing on it occasionally and buffing it.
To everybody else, she's got the glass up to her eye.
Okay. Writes this down in the journal. Tuffy is tripping out. I don't know what is going on. She has a glass up to her eye. I'm a little worried, but at the same time, I'm feeling pretty damn good.
I'm just happy. Everyone looks happy. Everyone's happy. Yes. Happy.
Hell, once Tom's finished with his drink, he's gonna pull out a piece of paper and a pen and start writing poetry.
Nice.
He's in the mood. Of course, unless you can read Japanese, I don't think you're gonna be able to tell what he's writing.
No, that's actually its own
You
separate
know,
language, I
fantasy
believe.
Japanese.
Yeah, I forget what the fantasy Japanese is, but it's... I forget.
Whatever the...
There are like Eastern... There's a language that is Eastern Common, pretty much.
Yeah, he's writing in Eastern Common.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I forget what the actual name of the language is, but yeah. Jax, you know, he's like finished his drink and he's kind of been having fun, like checking, like getting a recap of what's been going on, and then he's sort of like, all right, enough business. And he's like got a deck of cards out and he's been playing cards with people. And
Hopefully those aren't against humanity.
no. He, you know, you've been playing regular things.
Wait, we're in a city full of monsters. Wouldn't it be like Cards Against Monsters or something? Like if we play Cards Against Humanity,
Monstanity.
wouldn't they be like Cards Against Vampires or something? I don't know.
He like, yeah, he's like,
No, he's playing Munchkin.
Oh god.
he's playing, like, he teaches you this cool game that he knows. It's called poker, and he's played it plenty of times in like in various taverns, actually making bets with people. It's a very popular service game. He's not sure if you've like anybody took that knowledge up into the dragon or not, but he was about to go around and ask everybody on the dragon who if they knew how to play poker.
As long as the most he's playing for is money, I think we're okay.
Well, no, he's got this set of chips that he's using in place of money because he didn't want to, like, you know, start taking the money from the people that helped him out. Then again, you know, the luck doesn't seem to always favor him. Like the games are quite fair, and he kind of like says multiple times when it's brought up, like how he's glad to have such well-mannered people to play with, because the amount of times he's had to deal with cheats is just, it doesn't even worth mentioning. Because he hates when a game is spoiled by those who don't want to actually play the game properly. And then you guys are starting to feel, those who like need sleep are starting to feel tired, as like you're not quite sure what time it is, but you're getting tired enough to think like, you know, it's probably time to actually like rest soon. He's like, alright, well, you know, I've got some rooms you can stay in, or if you're perfectly comfortable here, then, you know, you can just sleep here. It's no bother to me. And Tuffy's just kind of on this chaise lounge, just completely conked out at this point. And in her mind, like, all the woodland creatures, including the dragon, have, like, moved the table and thrown out rugs and, like, curled up for nap time.
It's adventure time in Tuffy's brain.
I guess I could bring Tuffy to a real bed.
It's with Jake the dog and Tuffy the ferret. Sorry.
Bring you to a bed now.
You're gonna move her from the chaise lounge to a bed?
Yep.
Aw, but
She might slip to the
loud.
floor.
Alright, well,
I mean, I just have to be careful with my head crystal. Doop, doop, doop. Gonna tuck her in. There.
okay, as she's moved, like, in her head, as she's moved further away, it's like she's, like, rolling, she suddenly is, like, rolling down a grassy hill. You know how you do. And when you throw her into a bed, she kind of has, like, a short drop, but then it's just, boom, in this, like, huge bed of flowers.
Oh my god.
Basically, it kind of matches up from when she's, like, boom, into the bed. And for some reason, these flowers, like, really warm and nice and comfy. And when you, like, kind of grab at them, they seem to bunch up into some form of flower blanket.
Good night, Tuffy. Bye bye. Goes back to office. I don't even have a mouth to give her a little kissy. Well.
Well, you do, but it would probably involve second-degree burns.
I
Catch
actually
her
don't.
fur on fire. Don't do that.
The only mouth I have is on my waist.
What?
I see a mouth on that picture.
On the mask, yeah,
Where?
but that would burn her. As would the...
That's actually a nose.
Wait, is it maybe a nose? The little V? Oh, okay.
I thought that was a mouth.
I thought
She was
was
smiling
not.
at us.
My entire world is upside down.
Oh, great, she's tripping even more. What did you do?
The bed of
All of
flowers
a
is
sudden,
suddenly
Saphira
thorns.
has no mouth. Saphira has no mouth, and I must scream.
Fucking awesome game.
Okay.
Alright, so yeah, he's like, you know, and it's like, you know, so you can sleep where you want, and then saying that, I'm going to turn in. And he turns and he just sweeps up Ophelia and just heads to the door.
Tom will pretty much put his sword with scabbard on his lap, sitting basically cross-legged, and go to sleep that way.
Okay. Sage Heart, she isn't fussy. She's just like, you know what, this couch is pretty comfortable that I found myself on, and I can't really be bothered to move right now after drinking all this, so... You know what, I might feel a bit achy in the morning because of it, but I think sleeping here is good.
Okay.
So she's in
Anyone
sleep
else
mode.
want to carry?
Well, Genevieve's still in her armchair, you know, writing. But what else does she do?
Well, if she's passing out, I'm gonna bring her to her room.
No, let's ask Genevieve herself what she's doing.
Yep. Well, I don't sleep, so I'm just watching my friends.
I'm just writing.
Eh.
Probably should get around and start turning in though, eh?
If you want.
Well, she's gonna have to take off her armor to do that, I think. So, go into my room.
Yeah.
Not all.
When you stand
Get
up,
back.
you feel like it was a lot easier to stand up than usual. Like as if you were stronger than you usually are, or lighter than you usually are. One of the two. Like even in full plate, you stand up and like you've put a bit like too much force into
right
it
back.
and ended up on your toes for a brief moment, and you're like, oh, whoa, that's not normal.
Shall I reflex to make sure I don't fall over?
No, you find your balance seems to be pretty good, despite your like lack of current strength control, I suppose.
It's a bit.
Oh my god, she's gonna be moonwalking down the hallway. And by moonwalking, I mean the way that they walk on the moon.
Boing.
And
Boing.
yeah, even with your full plate on, you can still find yourself like being able to move quite easily with some form of, like grace and posture.
So theoretically, she could do like a ballerina move in the middle of this room, and it'd be perfectly fine.
Theoretically,
Hey,
that
if
would
you're-
still require a acrobatics check, I think.
If
Which
your
she does
full
not
plate-
have, so I'm going to bed.
Here's the thing: if your full plate is properly fitted, you should be able to do that anyways.
True. So yeah, she's gonna just kind of pack up and go up to her room, and she's just kind of noting that she's moving a bit easier, and it's like, huh, okay, strange. All right, well, whatever.
Yeah,
Goes
you,
up to her.
you find yourself able to move as if you weren't wearing your armor. You know, the in-character version of that 30 foot instead of 20 foot.
Okay. Alright, so she's gonna head up to her room and get ready for bed.
You head up to one of the rooms and, you find it. It's, it's nice and clean, very well dusted, in fact, and you manage to find a nice, comfortable bed to sleep in.
Excellent. Just gonna start taking off her armor.
Hopefully, they have washing service here. Because how long has it been since that Gabason's been washed?
Well,
Since that what, sorry?
I mean, it was probably washed after the hot dungeon, but still,
Oh, yeah.
either that or flat out replaced. That Gambeson probably going to need washing, considering how long it's been since we've been anywhere civilized.
fair point. Just gonna leave my armor pile there. I'm gonna go to sleep and see about cleaning that in the morning.
Okay. So is that everyone asleep now? Apart from the one who can't, obviously. So how's Saphira going to spend the night now that everyone's in bed?
The same thing she does every night, DM. No, wait.
Narf.
Nolf.
No, legitimately, I got to talk to Rob Paulson this weekend, and it was the best thing ever. He actually talked to me as Yakko, even though I didn't request it, because I never do that, but he actually talked to me as Yakko for a little bit. We just geeked out about voice acting for like 20 minutes. It was great.
Nice.
You lucky.
Anyway,
You're
Yeah.
so lucky.
No. I can do you one better. I got to talk to Kermit the Frog. Not Steve Whitmire, although I did talk to him. Like, he had Kermit with him, and I got to talk to Kermit.
Neat.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah. Beat that. You cannot beat my weekend. My weekend was unbeatable. It was amazing. Anyway, moving on.
I am jealous of both of you.
After we're done with the game, I will tell you all the dirty details. It's amazing.
Alright. So that's going to be for some Pathfinder After Dark.
Yeah, it's, well, not that dirty,
I
but...
know.
mm.
Alright, Ombre, what was it you're saying?
Anyway, focus.
Well, just to be polite, I'm actually gonna get a room, but I'm gonna get a room with a nice view on the city so that I don't get too bored during the night.
Alright, well you find one of the outward-facing rooms. That has a
I
nice
get a share.
sprawling window.
I'm gonna look out.
You look out across the city and there's You see, like, lots of people moving around, because this is like a city that never sleeps. There's always people up and about, no matter what time this one single light source can give in this town. And, like...
In a creepy way, it's almost like home.
I don't have a room.
But yeah, you see like the market that's set up on the bridge is like still going. Like you see at like over the hours that you sit there that some people will like close up their stall and head off, and someone will take their place, you know. But it's like always moving, and you can see that some of the people that were in the church, in fact, who are like going around and spreading the word of what happened that day.
Oh dear.
And you know, and you can see like some people like pointing up at the moon and sort of like just talking to each other and like looking up at the moon again, almost like discussing what happened earlier, that sort of stuff. And as it gets around to well, many hours pass, and after a long time, like a good 8 hours, you start to hear movement. So roll perception.
Okay. Roll.
In fact, everyone
I'm gonna
roll
roll
perception.
perception. I'm gonna roll perception for my dreams.
Yeah, everyone roll perception.
Okay, perception. 6.
Oh yeah, I am dead asleep.
Kiki is, yeah, Tuffy is out cold.
Tubby's like fairies and scarves and a hat.
Okay, so those who rolled above a 15, or for the sleeping people at 20, so Saphira noticed, and Genevieve would notice enough to be woken up if she chose to react to it. I mean, it is getting... She has been asleep for quite some time. Though if Genevieve is the one out of the group to actually wake up, roll your fortitude for any after effects.
Oh.
Okay, well, since you've made your first fort save, I didn't give you as high a goal, but you still came out one short, so you're a little bit dehydrated, but nothing too bad, you know?
Okay.
And what Saphira will notice, and eventually Genevieve will notice, that like rather swiftly and silently there is this little girl who's like slithering around with a snake body, and she's got like 6 arms, and all of them are holding like feather dusters, some of them with longer handles than others, cloths, and this like this tin which you can only imagine has like polish in it, and she is just slithering around almost silently and just cleaning things, dusting. Like she goes up to Genevieve's bed and she notices she's in it, and she kind of like gets startled by it. She's like, oh, sorry, because she's got a blindfold on and she doesn't exactly,
Oh! Yeah.
because she doesn't exactly have a head of hair. She has quite a many snakes in her hair, or making up her hair, as it were.
Don't look at her. Turn away.
It seems that they hissed to inform her of your presence, as well as when she kind of felt you move in the bed. She was like, "Ooh, sorry, I didn't know anyone was sleeping here."
If she comes to my room, I'm just gonna say, careful, don't touch my head. It's really hot.
And she's stealthy enough that she doesn't wake up the sleeping ninja, which is rare.
Her slithering is a lot quieter than footsteps, you know.
I guess he just didn't regard her as a threat.
Yeah. Because, like, you know, if a snake's so silent, then, you know, there's nothing around her. But if they hiss, that means there's something there. You know? But she's got a blindfold up over her, like, main eyes, as it were. And it's very pretty. It's, like, you know, it's a very nice black with this, it's got, like, white stitching to show, like, you know, really nice eyes with, like, with, like, pretty blue, like, teal stitching inside to give the eyes some color. And she's perfectly fine wearing it. She's, like, dressed up in, like, this tiny little maid outfit, and it's really adorable. So,
Well, I guess she needs a maid outfit if she has no legs. I mean, skirt. Where?
and you know, with Sophia, she's like, "Oh, okay, I'll clean that chair later, thank you." And then, you know, that's when she bumps into Genevieve and says sorry. So, how does Genevieve react?
So just bumps into me.
She like
I mean,
she like goes to like start like trying to like I guess dust off the bed, and then realizes someone's in it. And she's like, "Oh, sorry, I'm sorry."
That's quite okay. Sometimes when I'm asleep, I'm just kind of out of it. It's okay.
Okay. Thank you. And she slithers off and keeps dusting stuff.
And Genevieve is just gonna lay there with her eyes open for a moment, like,
Like her.
that doesn't normally happen.
No, she's like, you can see that because of how short she is. She's like got these dusters on her top arms that are on like really long sticks, so she can like go up by the windows and stuff like that. She just goes about and then tries her best not to disturb anyone.
Doop, doop, doop.
Whereas a lot of the other kids, they sound like they're just kind of like getting up, and you hear like the movement of water and stuff like that, and just general footsteps throughout the entire place.
I'm gonna walk around and look at all those kids
Okay.
and try not to, you know, because I'm kind of big.
Okay, so Genevieve, you get the feeling that's probably about the time that you want to start prayer. That you want to grab a drink of water first.
Yeah, probably wouldn't hurt. Is there anything I should roll, or?
No, not really. I mean, like, you would look around until you see like a decanter of water on the side, and you think you smell it just in case, and no, there's water in there, and you just have yourself a quick drink before you
Down
start
it.
your prayer.
Down it, just down it.
The whole decanter.
Well, not all of it, but a good portion of it.
Do you not even use a glass?
For comedy's sake, I wouldn't, but since
Okay.
she's a paladin, she probably would.
Oh, okay.
The lawful kicks in.
I really need water. I should be dignified about this. Alright, I will search for a glass.
Just can imagine it now, just sort of like this ghost like in the desert, and you're just like, water. Go to an oasis, like, I need a glass. Something.
Meanwhile,
to do
you
with
might try to amuse the kids by creating 1 pound toys with my prestidigitation. Like, they're really fragile, but you know, I can make them any color, any shape.
that. As you're like
Under-
walking around, the kids are just, some of them see you, and some of them will like bravely just sort of like run past you, but like, you know, sort of like,
No.
and then like circling back to their friends. Some of them will like be looking at you kind of like from around the door. Like when you notice them, they'll just scamper off. It's as you're walking down the hallway that you can see like the windows from the upper floors that look out to like the courtyard that's between the two buildings. And you can see a lot of the kids are out there just playing. There's like there's this one kid seems to be a boy, but he's got like the upper half of a humanoid, but he has like his entire lower half is the scorpion.
Adorable.
Almost like a dryad, but it's a scorpion instead of a spider, and it's male. And you know, there's this other kid that's quite clearly a flesh golem of some kind. You know,
A tiny flesh golem.
really tiny flesh golem. You know, like he's bigger than the other kids, but he's still quite small in comparison. Like he's a medium-sized creature compared to the other kids who are like, you know, small. And yeah, you see this real mismatched kids of species, and they're just being kids, you know. Like,
Well, those who are courageous enough to approach me, I make tricks for them.
when you like start doing a trick, one of them kind of stops and looks up at you and stuff like, gets curious, like, what you doing? And this kid, he's got like little horns and a tail, but he appears human otherwise.
I can make a little bat. Poof. Little plastic bat.
And you know, as he's standing there, he's like doing this like Superman pose with like fists on his hips, just like looking up at you, just showing the other kids how brave he is and courageous. And he like takes the bat and he like starts like, you know, flapping it in the air and starts running around with it.
Yay.
Oh, then you see one of the other kids kind of jabs him in his side, and he sort of like runs back and he goes, "Thank you," and then runs away again.
No problem. They're adorable.
You know, there's all shapes and sizes of these children, but like in this environment, like some of them are doing like innate like magic and stuff to kind of like mess with the other kids, but like any sort of action that might be taken as bullying seems to get an equal reaction from the other kids, so it's like not like going unchecked. They seem to like manage themselves. It's, you know, this one kid will be sort of like, you know, does a flick of flame from his hand, and there'll be this like there's this kid who's like got I guess what you would call like this wagon that has like a big trough of water in it, and there's this mer creature child just sitting in it, and she would just like spit water at the fire when it's thrown at someone.
Well, in an hour, that bat is gonna poof in the kid's hands.
Wait, what?
Prestidigitation tricks don't last over an hour. So he's just gonna play with his bat and then poof.
Oh, the bat. Oh, okay. I thought you said the bat.
Yeah.
Okay.
The bat toy.
Oh, okay.
B-A-T.
Yeah. Well, he's kind of here. He's aw. So he's like, oh well, we got plenty more to do. Come on, guys. Let's go play hide and seek. And at one point, you have you see Jack. He comes down from the stairs that leads up into one of the towers. Well, at least one of the higher parts of the building.
I'm gonna switch over to my phone.
Okay.
So Jack is awake.
Yeah, he's awake. He's just walking around.
Well, I need to talk to him. I feel bad about something.
All right.
Long story short, yeah, Saphira's gonna admit she spilled the beans about Margarine by accident because she didn't know what the other people didn't know. And she wanted him to know so that Margarine would be safe in case of fallout.
Oh,
You know.
Yeah, don't worry about it. I mean, nothing came of it as far as I can tell, so it's not really something to worry about.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to make sure. I don't want anything to happen to her.
No, it's okay. I just checked her bed. Everything's perfectly fine. She's you know, she's having to rest a lot more after like using her projection so much to try and find you guys. But she'll be fine once she's like recovered from all of that. She just needs to focus on sleeping rather than projecting herself for a few days.
I'm glad.
Welcome back.
Bluggery.
But no, I am, I'm really thankful for you guys to, think of her in all of your doings for this city. I mean, she is one of the foundations after all, and let's not get too soppy about it. I'm gonna head downstairs to the office, see if anyone else is awake. See you down there.
I'm gonna go there too. Yep.
Oh, I left a pitcher of water in the that one room where Genevieve slept. If you need to, throw it down yourself for any reason.
I had enough water yesterday.
All right, cool. I'll see you downstairs then. She's kind of.
Okay, thank you. Stomp.
So Jack.
I cannot. Nothing. Go ahead.
Yeah, you hear clapping outside, authoritative clapping, and you see a feeler out there, and she's trying to round up the kids. And she's like, all right, come on, everyone together. And the kids start gathering up, and the kids that are still inside kind of head out to the courtyard to join her. So yeah, Jack comes down to his office, and I think the next person I want to wake up and roll fortitude is Tom. I mean, someone can.
Come on. Okay. Fortitude. That's +4.
Alright, you still at the computer to roll that, or should I do it?
I can do it.
Oh, you can do it, okay. Carl wasn't sure if you were going to mobile because you had to go lay down or something.
Yeah, I do have to lay down.
Okay.
But I can still reach my keyboard.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Ooh.
Oh.
Despite you being able to handle the effects that came again and again as you got through your drink, you wake up this morning with a throat so dry you would have thought someone slit it. And your head just feels like, why?
Well, if there's any water nearby, he will drink it till he feels better.
Yeah, there's, if you, let's see. Yeah, there's another decanter in Jack's office. And it's just sitting there on the desk, and as you're taking a drink, that's when Jack actually reaches his office, and he's like, so you're up too. How you feeling after that drink last night?
Ask me again in an hour.
Alright, fair enough, alright. Okay, so, and he heads to what seems to be like a map of the city, and he's just looking at it, and he's kind of just nodding to himself, just checking out the city in its whole on the map. Alright, so not much has been going on. I mean, there's the damage that's caused to get me back, but that's no big deal. It's just we can just get that rebuilt. You guys didn't find anything in Mayovik's house, did you?
That's the vampire house, right? Ex-vampire, the house I burned down.
We did find Mayovic.
Oh, you did? Okay. Is he, he's
The
still...
real Mayovic.
Yeah. Don't worry, I knew what you meant. So is he, willing to fight the dragon again, or is he kind of done with that?
He's willing.
Alright, that's
But
good.
only as a last resort.
Yeah, I mean, with the amount of material he has to read, I'm sure he's still entertaining himself after all this time. But, yeah. Okay, so that's fine. So, we're just trying to rebuild that. Maybe not include a basement area, at least in terms of, like, easy, like, obvious access. That should keep me happy. And, just kind of leave a spot open so that I can go see him if I need to. Alright. Other than that, just rebuild that part of the church. Nothing seems to be going on. I'm seeing a bit of chatter around the marketplace. I think I may have to go say hello to people. Alright, well if you need me, I'm going to be in the market, so I'll pull you back in a few hours. You guys just take care of yourselves. He walks out.
Ooh, guys, guys, hey.
Mm-hmm.
Can I? Well, I'm not asking Jack because I'm
Oh,
waiting
sorry.
till he's gone.
Okay, he's gone.
Can we explore the town? I want to see everything.
Tuffy, roll your foot safe.
Dum dum dum.
Is she back from her? Yes.
We shall see. Oh,
Not even close.
you feel like
Nothing someday.
you feel like your throat is just nothing but pixie dust in it. And you wake up as if like there's this roar that just jerks you awake in your head and it leaves you just thumping.
She just wakes up and goes, "Ah." And then Bruiser like gets up and starts like grooming the fur on her head with his tongue and like being cute.
Even the moonlight coming through the freaking windows seems too bright. And oddly, everything seems to have like this weird green tinge to it.
Oh dear.
Yeah, she's just not happy. She's just like grumbling and moaning.
Because I'm just
And-
reacting that like you were woken up when Zephyr just all went, guys!
Yeah.
Guys, I want to explore everything.
Everything?
We're not on the quest anymore. At least see the legal stuff. I mean, I don't want to barge into houses, you know? I just want to see the city before we go.
Sage Heart wakes up and is just kind of very like, oh, why? Just throws back like an alchemist kindness or something. Something she can make up. I'm sure she can. I'm sure she's got the ability to make alchemist kindness. I mean,
She's made alchemist kindness aplenty before.
Yeah, so she, she starts handing it out to those who are suffering. So, Tom and Tuffy, and if Genevieve really feels she needs it, then that's fine too.
Sure, why not?
Yay.
She slings back one herself and she's like, alright, 5 more minutes and I'll be good.
Field trip.
Alright, well, I need to quickly take a brief break, if that's okay with people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, so top up your drinks, get some food if you need to, use the facilities, whatever. Just take about a 5-minute break and we'll be right back.
Okie doke.
I hear a kitty.
Oh, it's mine.
Hello, kitty. Scritch,
Hey.
scritch, scritch.
That's his name.
Kitty is his name.
No, Scratch.
Oh, really?
My brother adopted him, and it's because he's a tabby, so he looks like he's scratched all over.
Ah.
Like, personally, I would have called him Caramel, but I didn't adopt him. I'm gonna respect my brother's choices. Even if he sucks at names. I mean, it's not like I came up with anything better for the other cat.
There is Kitty in Skype.
He just wants a pet, so I'm petting him right now.
Yeah, that's my kitty, but she only talks when she wants food.
Mine... Oh, that's a cute kitty. Oh, she's white.
Yeah, she's
With
got like,
splotches.
yeah, she's got calico spots, and she is just like seriously beautiful.
I think calicos are more prominent in females than males. I think a male calico is very rare.
I've never really known. Wouldn't shock me, I guess.
It's something to do with males having more difficulty having more than 2 colors at a time. Like for tabby cats, they tend to have one color, but it's like it's different shades, and one is just an absence. Like my cat is a redhead, so he just has the redhead gene going on. Well, since we're sharing cats, do I have a good picture of him? Let's see. Maybe I have something on my cell phone. Kitty, no. Ah, Kitty. Wah. Stop. I need to put order in those files. What I guess a picture from a year ago is gonna do. Yeah.
The hell was that?
Shush. No. I said no. A picture, but I'm gonna shrink it first. Otherwise, you're gonna have something way too big.
It's a kitty in a box.
Derp.
Who put a sleepy kitty in the chat in there?
It's cat time.
Cat time and break
Yeah,
time.
we're having cat time because you were on break.
Okie dokie. It's fine by me.
That's
I'm
a
gonna
rare
grab kitty
edition
in a
of
box.
Monster Eye.
That's a kitty. 2 kitties on
There's
the
my...
blanket.
You mean 2 kitties.
It's just chilling. It'll be like, bro, what, bro? No. Oh yeah, I get you, bro.
I'm gonna have to bring that blanket out when summer, winter comes around. With the length of her hair, I would say that was probably spring. I get her shaved around spring.
Mm-hmm.
And she was halfway, so I guess it was late spring. Like my Mimi right now, well, I got her shaved this year, and she's almost she's almost back to full fluffy. Which means I'm gonna have to brush her and make sure she gets her baths. Oh boy. Cause it's not natural anymore, you know. They need more care because we're monsters in breeding kitties. Like, we got that cat for free. Original owner got a baby and she had no time to take care of a cat. So now she's
See,
our
what
cat.
is that?
What is what?
I'm not like hallucinating, right? I'm not the only one who hears that.
Here's what?
It sounded like snoring.
Oh, did Ben fall asleep?
Oh, is that what happened?
I don't know.
Because I've heard it a couple of times now, and I'm like, the hell?
I mean, that last one sounded like a response, so I don't think he's actually fully asleep.
There.
Did he fall asleep?
I think he did. Alright, so is everybody else back? Is like Keller here? Is Kel here or is she be right back?
Hmm.
The fact that she's
I
actually speaking up, I'm gonna
didn't-
say she's AFK, so yeah, we'll wait.
No.
After a while, we're just gonna hear dum as the phone just falls off and hits the floor.
Yeah, I know, right?
Oh, the pink Markiplier is in the works. Oh no. I hope he got his chroma keys fixed. Ooh.
Actually, I'm tired enough. Do you guys mind going on without me for the rest of the session?
Go ahead, dude.
Hmm?
All right.
Make it
Yeah.
better.
I mean, we're going for 2.5 hours anyway, so
Wrapping up.
we can wrap up. We can do that exploration of the town.
Well, I don't really mind you. I don't really want to roleplay it. I just say, like, Saphira wants to explore the town one last time before we go.
Okie dokie.
And while everyone else having a hangover.
Alright. So, we can just end it here.
Yep.
Or we can wait for Kel to get back, and then we can do like a bit more detail to the exploration before we head off.
If she wants.
I mean, how much time does everybody have?
Well, I don't have anything tonight because I took care of my shit earlier.
Okay. Because if you guys were free, like after we end this, just wrap it up now kind of thing, then there is a game on Tabletop Sim that I think would be really fun and doesn't take that long to play. And
Simulator?
it's really similar. It's really, yeah, tabletop simulator.
Mm.
And it's extremely kind of fun, like 80s in your face cartoon style. It involves wizards just beating the shit out of each other. I mean, I'm sure you have Tabletop Simulator, right, Kiki?
I do not, but I also have to do like schoolwork.
Okay, okay, fair enough.
So
Alright, so...
yeah,
we-
I got a pretty nasty email from. Well, it was sort of nice. It was an email from my professor this morning that was like, yeah, if the thing isn't up by tomorrow morning, then like, yeah. So
Alright then, so we're gonna call it an end here, and then we can do like the quick exploration thing as a nice point to jump off of next session before we leave.
Okay.
And then we can have that as like the intro to the next session. So thank you for watching whether live or recorded. This has been On with Odin, Gamemastering Pathfinder Dragonfall, and we will see you, if all things go according to plan, next week.